There are three ways of experiencing the world. One is the way most people do it, which is just letting their nervous system do whatever the hell it wants. You're at the unconscious whim of your nervous system. It doesn't feel like that, but you are. The second one is when you realize that and you're like, oh crap, I should do something about that. There are some great people that have done a lot of work in that area of the oh crap space. People like Marty Seligman and the whole positive psychology movement, for instance, where it's a lot of empirical, awesome work around what really makes people flourish. It's a question of how do you help people flourish while they're living with this moment-to-moment sense of fundamental discontentment. If they haven't had this rewiring to fundamental well-being, then that's the story for them. So I think people like Marty have done a fantastic job. Sonia Lyubomirsky and so many others, Ed Diener, these major figures in the psychology space of really figuring out if you're going to live with that, how do you best live with it? What does that look like? And that to me is door number two, the second option for you that someone can walk through. The third one is the thing that I work on, which is how do you just get rid of that rug? Instead of trying to constantly sweep it under the rug, how do you just rewire your system such that you're human 3.0? Because we don't need it. I'm not gonna die during this interview from some fucking wild animal ripping my arm off, or I'm not gonna starve today because I didn't make it to the next berry bush, or I didn't catch enough fish. If anything, I'm trying to not have a brownie sundae at dinner so that I don't have a bunch of empty sugar calories that puts weight on me. We have the exact opposite problem. Our societies are conspiring to keep us safe, to keep us alive. We don't need that old wiring anymore where at any given time some tiger could just come and tear my arm off. We're not that bird that we're throwing those crumbs to. And incidentally, here's a funny story about the birds. A friend of mine, I was talking at some conference, and a friend of mine was in the audience, and he was thinking, I have a bird. This bird has lived the safest existence imaginable. It's been in a cage in their house. There's no animals that are going to eat it. No animals ever get into the house that could threaten it. Basically, this bird has no threats, and it still eats the exact same way. And that's exactly what we're all doing as humans. We're living in that cage where we don't have any threats, and yet we're still controlled by that nervous system. So the third thing for me, and the thing that I really work on, is how do you get rid of that, and where do you go from there with life? And life can be so much more extraordinary. As much as I love and respect their work, the positive psychology, traditional positive psychology movement, sticking at the 4-minute mile. And we're over here, hey, that 4-minute mile is imaginary. You guys ought to experience life this way.